Hello, everybody, and welcome to Eberron, Gateway to Perdition. This is our last episode. This is it, episode number 3, the big finale. We saved all the muted trumpets and the rain and the black and white toning for this episode, so buckle the hell up. Before we conclude our 3-part miniseries, though, I would like to take a minute to get warmed up with my friends here and check in on them. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah,
Doing good.
Doing
Excited
good.
for
Really
Thanksgiving?
excited to kill Jace today.
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna have a cameo at the end. He just walks in and then Delilah shoots him in the face and is like, that wasn't so hard.
Yes.
Yeah,
I feel like somebody's been wanting to do this for a while, and I honestly don't see why it's taking so long.
Yeah, what's that? There's a word in German about for someone who has a punchable face, or like a face that demands a fist or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a face. It's a face that asks to be punched.
Yeah. He definitely has one of those. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. Well, what's going on in let's start, Masood, let's start with you. What's going on in Chicago, my friend? What do I need to know?
Well, you need to know, goodness, the winds are trying to tear down the doors. I tell you what, it is so windy right
doors.
now in the Windy City. It is.
So it's not just a name. That's like for real.
I just think today is an especially windy day. Also, there's this thing called like skyscraper winds that like draw wind certain ways, and then there's the lake. But also, the real reason why it's called the Windy City is because when Chicago was a sausage town back in the good old days, when it was just a meat packing plant, they claimed that their meat was much better than all the other like surrounding cities, like Cincinnati and some of the other ones. And everyone else was like, oh, they're just a bunch of windbags. So it became the Windy City.
Ah, I see.
Mhm.
The Chicago knowledge I didn't know.
You know, who would have thought I've been a bike tour guide in the city?
Oh,
Nobody
really?
but now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so exciting.
It's terrifying. Adam.
Like all of the comedy friends are doing. They're like, yeah, architecture boat tour guide, like bike
Yeah.
tour guide, bus tour guide.
Ugh.
It's a good gig if you
It's a
can
good
get-
gig. You relate to America and international audiences. You just
Ghost
work your
tour.
chops.
There was like a mafia tour. I'm like literally
yeah.
thinking about all of the tour guides I know.
My
you.
tour was the Bikes, Bites, and Brews tour, where people would have a slice of deep dish pizza. They'd have a Chicago style hot dog. They'd get a cupcake from a very like boutique cupcake shop in Chicago, and then have beers in Wrigleyville before riding along the lake down. And it was terrifying taking 15 people who have never been in the city before on bikes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, it was a good job. I got a good tan out of it. I don't know.
But like, did your worst fears ever come to life? Did like people get
Yeah.
lost or like
Oh, no,
almost?
no. Oh, people have got lost. We found them, which was good.
Okay.
And then I did get to roast this old man once, and that felt really nice. Cause like, so we were on the tour, and I go, "Hey, my name is Masood. That might be hard for some of y'all to remember, so I'm going to tell you a fun story. In 3rd grade, I really tried to push the nickname Madude. It did not catch on, and this is something I tell every tour. Right? It's very fun.
Yeah.
It's light. It's
You
at the
have
beginning.
lines, yeah.
Yeah, I have lines. And this guy, I don't remember his name, but we'll call him Larry. Larry goes, "Oh, Krishna over there will have no problem remembering your name." And I was like, cool. 40-year-old man, you are my new target for this day.
Ready.
And so we go on this bike ride, and he comes up, and he's clearly upper management. And some of the other bikers come near me. This guy, Greg Polinsky, is like, yeah. I was like, oh, Larry's a real handful. And he's like, yeah, wait till he starts calling you Polak. And I was like, okay, cool. So he is racist across like East Europeans, like South Asians.
It's weird though, because that's how I introduce you when I'm talking about you to new people. I'm like, yeah, Masood, my Polish friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The first defining characteristic.
It's the first thing I think of, certainly.
Absolutely. Later, I'm talking to Krishna, and apparently Larry also calls him a poo on occasion, which
Oh,
I mean
no.
that was standard.
Oh
And he-
boy.
And then I talked to this woman, Linda, who is from Scotland.
Uh-huh.
He keeps calling an Irish lass. So it's just like
This guy.
this guy.
Offensive thing that you could call a Scottish person.
Right. And Krishna says the worst thing to me. He's like, hey, man, if you stick around long enough, you might get your own nickname. And I was like, oh, my God, this twins. I need to get out of this tour. And so we go to take a group picture at the bar. And I'm taking it. And it's my one shot. And so I take a photo. I was like, oh, that's terrible. Larry, can you turn around? We want to see your face, not your bald spot. Come on. And it doesn't sound like much. But the crowd, they burst into laughter. Finally, the king taking a shot from a lonely fool on the outside of town on his bipedal, taking you around.
It doesn't matter how good it is. It just matters how, good the people hearing it feel.
Mhm.
Exactly. And I was like, this is why I'm a bike tour guide right here.
This is my life's passion.
My D-level comedy right now is really hitting it for you, and I love it.
Don't like your boss? Take him on Masood's bike tour, and we'll knock him down a peg or two.
I'll roast him for you. Some very light stuff that you'll talk at the water cooler about for 2 years from now. So
when you're driving people around on these tours and stuff, and they're asking you questions about Chicago, did you get a lot of like what were people curious about when they thought about Chicago? Like, what would they want to know?
I think they really wanted to know a lot of them want to know about Al Capone, which is always a big thing. For the tour that we were on, a lot of folks wanted to know like good places to go afterwards to hang out. I think
once we're done doing this nerdy bike ride, where can we go and be cool?
Absolutely. Well, it was like cool because you go through these neighborhoods and you point stuff out. And like I feel like most often their questions were, really just like the rumors. Is it really that dangerous? Is like, like some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think,
I feel like that would be like, it's sort of an interesting thing because like, I can see why. And to your point, Katie, I know a lot of, cause I live in Vancouver, so there are a lot of actors here as well. I have a lot of actor friends who do things like planetarium tours or like those kinds of things. We're like, let me perform for you in this constrained environment. So I dig it.
It's not a bad gig, and honestly, it was a workout. The toughest part about it was going from biking 0 miles a week to 60, and so
Gosh,
That's a negative Ghost Rider.
I'm now imagining a TK bike tour around Kentucky. I want nothing more than to go on this bike tour. It's my new life stream.
If you all come to Chicago, I'll do a private one for you. I would love to redo the route with just you guys. That would be very fun.
I would never. Not because it's silly or anything, but because it's exercise. Absolutely not. Leave my house to exercise.
We'll have you just on a pedicab behind my bike, and the rest of us will be biking.
Finally, yes, as I deserve. Have me in like a little Barbie convertible.
Perfect. Ideal.
Just pulling me behind your bike. I'm just lounging in there.
Everybody else is on a bike. Everyone else is on a bike, and TK is driving a hot pink Power Wheels behind everybody else. Knees up to your chin because it's like this long.
No, I'm like lounging, so I'm like pushing it with one hand and like driving.
Love it.
in my Barbie drop top.
Yep.
Good. We had to mod it so it would go 20 miles an hour, but now that it does,
no, it's hooked up to the bikes. So I'm not really driving.
I go 20 miles per hour. That's what we're saying.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm back on board.
Yeah. In chat, Infinity Phoenix says, now I'm imagining Vic biking Delilah around like that. I could see it. Yeah. They got like penny farthings in Eberron, but in Sharn it would be very dangerous to ride a bicycle because you're riding on all of these like crowded thoroughfares very high up in the air. And if you got knocked off your bike, somebody doors you, you're dead. You're going to just fly off and die. So much more dangerous. But I'm
just imagining like a squadron of just like insane unicyclists who ride on the rims of bridges.
Yeah.
I had a chance to take Featherfall, and I chose Firebolt instead. So
yeah, because one of those is a good spell, and the other is Featherfall. So you're fine.
I think I had the chance to take something like that, and I was like, if I fall, I fall.
Speaking of which, you're level 5 now, right, Delilah? So your Firebolt should jump up to the next cantrip tier.
Oh,
right now it does 2d10, I think.
Heck yeah!
And you've got your Arcane Firearm, so it does 2d10 plus a d8.
Oh. Heck yeah.
We were actually talking about how we can put ourselves in just narratively risky scenarios because as PCs know for sure we make it to the train.
That's
we
right.
live to get to the train.
It's canon, so it's like really we're unkillable.
And we're at full health when we get there too. So like
I'm also level 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever played a Metroid game before, but that's what's happening here. It's like the first fight, you're level 20, and then back to level 1 for the rest of the game. You gotta go collect all your abilities again.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's like a Dark Souls tutorial.
Yeah, exactly. Here's some stuff. Now we're gonna take it away. Start over.
Yeah. No, this is gonna be great because we are essentially unkillable because we've already seen the end of the story.
Until we get to the train, then we're super killable.
Oh yeah. But we win the train, so don't forget that.
The moment we see the commissioner
in canon,
all bets are off. Yeah.
Do we?
Well, I mean, I guess we could just find out. We could just play the game, and we could find out how you get there, and if you live.
What do you mean we? What?
We could just play and see what happens. That could be a thing we do.
All right.
Okay, but don't let us die, Adam, or else everybody will
Adam,
know.
that's your job to not let us. We're like,
don't let us die.
You're like,
the
okay.
Story continuity.
As soon as the game starts, you're like, all right. So I fill up the bathtub and I get the toaster and I plug it in and I look right at the camera and I jump in the bathtub. What happens?
You ever see that like asymmetric game that was like, who's your daddy or something, and one of you played a baby who was just trying to find a way to kill themselves, and the other one was the dad trying
it's the beginning of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Perfect.
Yeah.
That.
And there's no option to give the baby Benadryl, so
what are you gonna do?
DK, stay away from people's children.
Masood?
Just don't.
What, Masood? Say something. Go ahead. What is it?
Why do you need Benadryl for a baby? What are you doing to this baby that you need Benadryl for?
It knocks the baby out. Yeah.
Oh, guys. Chloroform works just fine. Come on.
Why
is where are you going to get chloroform in this day and age?
Yeah, okay. You're telling me that you are more likely to have chloroform in your pill cabinet than Benadryl.
That's Chicago, baby.
That's the Chicago. That is a true fact about Chicago.
Here's the thing: the whole reason that you need to knock the baby out anyway is so that Carlos can't hear it crying and doesn't know where to find you.
Absolutely. That is
so
the new
you can
game.
get your precious baby to safety before Carlos attacks it mercilessly.
I want this game of Mafia, except who's the hidden Carlos friend?
Secret Carlos. Oh boy!
Congrats on him getting married.
Yes, that's right. Congratulations to our dear friend Carlos for getting married and having a great time.
Marrying Serena is definitely the best choice you ever made. So, good job, buddy.
And for folks who need context, our regular Wednesday morning game that's the origin of this joke. So go watch Jace Bellerin Must Die. Wednesday mornings on twitch.tv/D&D. But for now, we've only got a little while. We got to get you folks on a train. So let's find out what happens.
To get us on a train.
So we faded on the bar, right? The Polished Pram, I believe, was the name of this particular establishment. Formerly, prior to the war, a building of some unusual purpose, but now it is one of the up-and-coming nightclubs in this area of Sharn. Currently, tonight, being entertained by the Big Scahill Band, there is a pretty sizable crowd of people, mostly human. And as we fade in, we see them all kind of gathered around. They're watching the stage. Bix and his jazz combo are entertaining them, and we see the door to the bathroom mysteriously open and then swing shut as if someone had passed through, but there's no sign of them. And as we see that, the camera pans across. We see Bruno and Bruno's new friend. And there's a bit of like an altercation going on there. And then the shot cranes up and does one of those things where it goes through the floor. So like the set is a cutaway. So we see through the layers of the floor, we see a pipe and like a rat runs across it as we scan up to the stairs above, where we see Delilah standing next to a guard. And in front of them, a set of doors leading to the office of the baby, owner of this bar and leader of the Night Street Gang. And then crouching highly stealthily over here behind a fern, Rookslade, private investigator.
Rookslade.
Yeah.
Righty.
So I think maybe let's start up here and then we'll check in on things downstairs. So Delilah, you've been brought to the door by the guard, right? You've been told the baby wants to talk to you, so you've been escorted up here. Do you know that Rook followed you? Is that a thing that you know about? You think?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't. I think that Delilah. I don't think Delilah ever knows anything for sure, but expects whoever they are working with to just make things work out in their favor. Like there is an expectation that, okay, well, you didn't let me bring my henchman upstairs. My henchman will handle it. So I think Delilah expects somebody to have followed them, but I don't think that Delilah knows it with any certainty that will allow them to strategize around it.
Right.
There's just an expectation that they will be assisted.
Yeah. Someone will be there when I need them.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's
But
very
no
trusting
planning.
of you.
But no planning.
All right. Yeah. So you're brought up to the door. I think this guy, the butler or whatever, will come up to the door and open it and sort of gesture like, please go on through.
Is this butler wearing like a tuxedo tail?
Yeah, I think it's all. I mean, the staff here are all like street toughs and goons and thugs that belonged to the baby's organization, and then they were upgraded to staff. Yeah, and they're like, well, if you're gonna be staff of my fancy club, you got to wear a tuxedo. So yeah, they do look like ill-fitting like gorilla suits.
And he's got like a thing on his nose from like a fight.
Yeah, right, a little
like
Band-Aid.
Like,
and
like,
yeah. Everyone that works in this bar is played by Mike Batista.
Yes!
Yes. I love this. This also makes my choices very much more hard now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I wanted to set the stage for it being funny, but now it's dangerous too.
Yeah.
But you'll take care of it. Delilah will like, does Delilah get the sense that they are not allowed to smoke here? Has there been, are there like ashtrays in the waiting room or anything?
This is a fantasy film noir type setting. Everyone is smoking everywhere all the time. So you're welcome to do the same.
Yeah, Delilah will light up a cigarette on their like long cigarette holder.
I think if you take out the cigarette holder and you put a cigarette in it before you go in, the beefcake in the gorilla suit or knockoff Batista takes out a lighter and like leans over to light your cigarette.
Aw, yeah, Delilah does like the very like noir like lean forward and like inhale to light it and like looks up through the eyelashes and stuff. Delilah, not hot. very much a 60-year-old. Bags under the eyes.
I disagree.
Violet eyeshadow.
I still think she's got a hot attitude. So
yeah. And instead of the sleek bob that they were wearing earlier, it's now like the C curls and waves.
Nice.
It's the waves now. Check my waves.
Yeah.
My waves. Yeah. So it's very much like and then, leaning back up with the waistcoat and the frilled collar and everything. And then just like, well, I suppose I'm ready. Haven't got all night. Let's get this over with.
You ready for your close up? Okay. So the guard lights your cigarette for you. He nods, grunts politely, and then holds the door like, please go on in.
Yeah. Delilah will go in.
Okay. So you go in. The guard stays outside. You watch this happen, Rook. Right. This door swings closed. Mm-hmm. And then you walk into a second room, Delilah.
Sorry,
that's
my
okay.
Chromebook is on for some reason, even though I muted it.
And in this room, this sort of little antechamber, there is there's like a tapestry on the wall. It looks like it depicts the city, like an earlier state of the city. It's like an antique tapestry. There's a little end table over here with a lamp on it. And when the door behind you clicks shut and you're in this little kind of waiting room here, you hear footsteps on the other side as someone comes to open the door for you. Now, while that happens, Rook, you watch Delilah go in. Do you stay behind your cover here and wait? Like, it looks like the guard just folds his arms over his chest and like leans against the wall.
I take the drumstick that I got from Rick's earlier, and I throw it down the stairs.
Oh, like down the hallway behind you?
Yeah, from behind cover.
Excellent. Okay. A little exclamation mark pops up over the guard's head and he goes, what was that sound? And he starts walking off that direction.
I play Metal Gear.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me check and see what your stealth roll was for Skullcrown. 18. Okay. 18. Yeah, you just blend right in, and you kind of have to move around the bush to stay hidden. But he comes around and he's like looking to see what's up. And then, starts heading down that hallway.
I pop into try to open the door to where Delilah is.
Going up that way? Okay.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, downstairs, Vic, you come out of the bathrooms. You're invisible now, right? You have the invisibility spell on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you come out, you're invisible, door swings shut behind you. You look up and you see Bruno and this guy. What's the current situation? Oh, Bruno runs away. It's okay. What's the current situation with you and this dude, Bruno? What does Vic see? Is this escalating? Are you gonna punch the guy, or is it still kind of like you're like talking him down? What's happening?
I want to get hit.
Yeah, so you're like asking for it. You're trying to goad the dude on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So the question I have here is, Vic, you see Bruno like acting like a jerk. But I don't know if you are perceptive enough to know that this is on purpose, that Bruno's like trying to get this guy to hit him. Can you make an insight check?
I would love to.
Yeah.
Insight. I wonder what my insight score is like. Oh, it's all right. A 12.
A 12? Okay. Bruno, do you think 12 is enough to figure out your master plan? Or do you think Vic thinks you're in trouble?
Oh gosh. I honestly... since I took all of that time to train on my physical and my internal, like everything I had going, my disguise kit, as it were. I don't know. I think you might actually think I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you doing to try to goad this guy into hitting you? Like, what are you? How are you doing that?
Well, let's see. The last thing I remember, I'm hold on one moment. Hold on. There are animals fighting on my bed. I'm so sorry.
That's the name of my autobiography.
I was gonna say that's a. Yeah.
I can. I would show you, but I don't want to ruin the.
I do think that someone needs to title something "There are animals fighting on my bed." That's really good.
Band name, audiobook.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's a good name for
Why
an
are they
album.
riled up? They usually just sleep. Oh God.
I love
I'm
it.
sorry. Right. Stop. Please. Go.
Pleading with pets is such a mood. Please.
Yeah. Whatever you're doing, just stop doing that.
I'll be right back.
Okay, that's all right.
Okay.
So Vic, you see this. I don't imagine you're gonna get involved anyway, right, Vic? Because you don't care about Bruno that much personally.
Almost certainly not.
Okay, all right. So what are you gonna do? You come out, you see Bruno. There's some trouble maybe brewing, and you just walk by.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's like, well, that is not my problem.
Yeah, sure.
My poor sweet Delilah is unattended and uncared for. Every second that that's happening, I'm failing. So I just need to fix that as soon as possible.
Okay, so you just want to make your way to the back entrance here and then up the stairs?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay, all right. So you maneuver your way down here. And then, Bruno, so you wanna try to get a fight going? You want to get some trouble started here?
Yeah, so the last thing I remember was this person taking their rings off and like handing them to their friends.
And they were like, all right, buddy, you're gonna, like if you're gonna keep causing trouble, and he kind of like he's doing that thing where he's just posturing, right, to see if you're gonna back down.
No, I'm just gonna I'm gonna like kind of lean in to him a little bit, like not get in his space, but like, and then like put my hands up and be like, hey, no, you probably don't want to do that. I'm sorry, but like there's no way you're gonna beat me. I'm just gonna make you look foolish in front of all your friends. It's gonna be a real problem for you. So
yeah, I think he just takes a swing at you, like where you're like, you don't want to do that. He's like, you don't tell me what to do. You're not my mother, and he takes a swing at your face. So let's see. Melee attack from this guy. I don't have an unarmed attack set up for him, so I'll just roll it manually. Takes a swing at you and he misses. He gets a 9. What does that look like? Do you block like instinctively? Do you duck out of the way? Does he swing and just like he's drunker than he thought? Like what does that look like, Bruno?
I want to, if at all possible, can I just get out of the way, and as he is like missing, like was swinging with the fist, I want to like grab the left side of his head and bash him into a table.
Yes. Yeah, you totally can do that. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Roll a d6 and add your strength modifier.
Okay. I remember how to do this.
I just want to see how much damage it takes. Okay. So you got a 2, and then what's your strength? Is it
plus 3?
Plus 3 now? Okay.
5.
All right. Okay, yeah, so there's this loud bang as head meets table quickly, and all of the drinks on the table jump a half an inch when you smack his head on the table. There's some rattling. There's a shout of surprise from over here. I think it's probably not quite enough yet to stop the band. Maybe they like, Bix never misses a beat, but maybe the bass player's like, boom, boom, boom. And then like gets back to playing. He's like, wait a second, nope, gotta keep going. And there's this momentary hiccup as you hit the guy's head on the table, and he's stunned for a second, trying to like figure out little birdies are flapping around his head. Meanwhile, back upstairs, Delilah, the door opens in front of you, and the smell of cigar smoke kind of wafts out from the door. You can see into a lavishly appointed office. So it has some furniture as you come in. So you see one of these gorillas, and he gets you to come in, and you see that there are some stools along the side over here. There's another fern over there. There's a big desk. Another small sidebar over here with drinks on it, right? So it's got a big like crystal decanter and some other bottles over there, like a bucket with ice. And then there's a leather couch here. And there are a couple of other guests of the babies. These seem to just be like kind of his favorite goons or like other members of his association. And then, as you look across the room, you see sitting in the big leather chair over here, you see the baby himself, Tyke Myson, and he's sitting there and he's got his feet up, and his feet are bare because he's a halfling. They don't wear shoes. So his bare feet up on his desk, and he's got a cigar in one hand, and there's a glass of some dark liquor sitting on the desk. And he looks up when you come in, and he smiles, and he's got like about 50% more gold teeth than the last time you saw him. And remember, he's like built like a little like spark plug. Like he's dense and small, and he used to be a professional boxer for like a really long time. So he's pretty beat up.
I know you don't mean me to, but I am definitely picturing like a halfling version of Carface from All Dogs Go to Heaven. Sure,
yeah, that'll do. Yeah.
I love him.
So he's looking at you, and then behind on the wall, behind him there is a framed poster of or a framed picture of the newspaper from the day that he won the big fight that put him like where he is today, right? So there's this thing about like the baby's rise to power, like all this stuff about him winning this fight, and there's like a picture of him with a bunch of like city officials and stuff. He's like shaking somebody's hand, and so he keeps these like newspaper clippings framed behind him. And when you come in, I guess the guard steps over here and closes the door behind you.
Can I?
Yeah, Rook, if you want to do something,
get to the door just gently and like stop it before it shuts all the way.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Yeah. So the door swings most of the way shut, and then yeah.
I catch it.
Stops on your foot.
So,
also, I want to ask a question. Is the baby's Tyke Myson's? Does he have a brother named Vincent? Is he the one that I put away that then got out? Or
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I also have this person. I got it.
Yeah.
nice.
You come in, Delilah. Do you let him have the first word, or do you say something upon like looking up and seeing him at his desk?
I think Delilah will take in the surroundings first. I want to ask a question from Delilah's point of view.
Yep.
Does the baby did the baby style or design this room as more befitting of his stature, or is all of the furniture bigger than him to overcompensate?
Well, so his desk, if you look, the chair and the desk are definitely custom made because they
bespoke.
They're big, right? Like it's a big chair, but the proportions are such that it like he fits in it. So the desk and the chair themselves are quite low to the ground, but they're large, so they're kind of human scale, but structured so he can sit in them and look like not an actual baby. But other pieces of furniture in the room, like the chairs and the couch, those are just regular human-sized furniture. And then if you look at the sidebar, you see that there's actually a retractable set of stairs that come out of the bottom of the sidebar. They're currently closed, but if you wanted to make himself a drink, you could just walk over and like kick a lever and the stairs would come out. You could climb up to the sidebar. But he has other people to pay to make drinks for him. So.
Yeah, Delilah has a lot of opinions about that. And are the baby's guests, are they sitting or standing?
They're all sitting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're doing that awkward posse thing where like it's obvious that this is a scene in which you and the baby need to talk about stuff, but they're just in the background being like, yeah, I'm important enough to be here, but not important enough to say anything.
Yeah. See, that's because if they were standing, Delilah would assume they were subordinates. But Delilah instead assumes that they are at least slightly important enough that somebody values their lives. Okay. Delilah will step inside, and after the door has closed behind them, because they never look over their shoulder, they never look behind them. Whatever is behind them is in the past. And sort of like takes a drag, flicks a little ash onto the floor, says, Myron, how delightful of you to invite me to your nursery.
He chews on the cigar threateningly, and then as he speaks, a cloud of bluish smoke comes out of his mouth, and he says, "It's been a long time, Delilah. You don't look so good. Rough life. It'll do it to you. I like to take care of myself." And he like leans back, kind of like, see, obviously I do, and like takes a drag off his cigar. Of course you do,
dear. Somebody has to.
And he shrugs and he says, "You like what I done with the place?"
And they look around and they sort of like make a show of taking the room in. Well, it's not as tacky as I thought you'd make it, but it's still perfectly you.
He's not sure whether or not to be offended by that. So while you're talking, and Rook, you're eavesdropping, we fade back to downstairs. Vic, you come around the corner. You've made your way up the stairs, right? Invisibly. I'll carry you upstairs.
Thank you for carrying me.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I just threw you outside. There you go. Okay.
Okay.
So you come around this corner of these stairs, and as you look up the hall, you see a guy in a tuxedo holding a single drumstick and looking at it like he doesn't know what it's for or like what it is.
Okay. Great. Ooh.
Now I think you saw Rook like get the drumstick, right? Like you saw that. So I think you can put those pieces together. You're like, oh, Rook's already up here.
Or this guy's just giving out drumsticks willy-nilly. Okay.
You're my biggest fan.
I'm going to like approach silently and just start like contemplating like an Assassin's Creed, just like
yeah. I mean, if you want to try to like, you know, grab him and choke him out, you certainly could.
Big old turkey.
I would look for a quick place to stash the body though first, and I see any like supply closets or large.
Yeah, I mean there are literally like rooms all along the side, and the one if you scooch up to this door, there is. Okay. It's funny you ask because the door literally says storage on it. It has like storage written on the door. Yeah.
Oh, vastly convenient.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's. Well, I don't want to. I'm gonna use like Vic's. Here's me perpetually afraid of fucking everything up. But I know
you're gonna get on that train.
That's the one thing I know to be true. I'll make it on this train.
It's Adam's job to put us on that train.
I don't think that's how that works.
I will definitely like look, and Vic's gonna make sure that like the probability of like them succeeding is like surpasses a certain threshold. I don't think Vic's a very like risky person in terms of sacrifice, but yeah, if there's an opportunity for me to just like take this person, knock him out, and put him in a supply closet.
Right now he's still pretty far away from you, so you'd have to lure him over or get closer to him.
I'll sneak closer. I'm invisible.
Okay. All right. So you start sneaking closer. Can you make a stealth roll?
Yes, and I tweeted at Roll20, so nobody worry about me rolling low. I'm sure that they've worked it out.
Yeah, that bug where you keep rolling low.
Yeah, I think that they fixed it, so nobody worry. Oh, I just have a 1 in stealth. That seems interesting.
Yeah, but you're invisible right now.
Yeah, you're invisible, so you have advantage.
Oh, 9?
Yeah, you get a 9. Okay, all right. So you start creeping up, and you step on off the floor, right? And you hear like a creak on the floorboard, and the guy with the drumstick looks up and he's like, "What was that?" And he like grumbles, and he starts just walking towards you.
Okay, well, looks like knocking him out is for sure gonna happen, I guess.
Yeah, what is that gonna look like?
Is it for sure gonna happen?
That's a really good question. I'm happy you asked it, Adam, because I have an answer for you.
Well, you ponder it for a second. He's walking towards you. He heard you walking. He starts walking towards you. Meanwhile, downstairs, Bruno, you smack the guy's head on the table. His like the other people at his table get up and they back away, like hands up. It hasn't caused a bar-wide scene yet, but you're certainly capable of making it one. So you hit his head on the table and he grabs his head and he's like, what the hell? And then what do you do?
But you slipped. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Is that?
Do you want to let him take another swing at you?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right. So he does, getting a 12, which is another miss. So you hit his head on the table. He gets up. He's all confused. You're like, you must have slipped. And he's like, the hell I did. And he swings at you and he misses again. You just step back and his fist swings through the empty air. Do you want to try to like knock him down, or because you're just like playing with this guy now?
What on earth?
Surprise attack!
Oh my god! Okay, sorry, that scared the living hell out of me.
Oh,
fair.
They love that.
Wow.
That Look
at that. Well, okay. What am I? Okay, back in the narrative. Okay. Yeah. So this time when he misses, I just I want to steal the flower.
Yeah, you're just yank it out of his little butt. Okay, sure.
But I want to like with it without him noticing, like all sleight of hand, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make a sleight of hand check. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, this will be great because I have a 1. So here we go. Yeah.
Hey,
not bad. You got a 16.
Hey,
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. Yeah. So he swings at you, whiffs in the air, and yeah, as he turns, you can see his little boutonniere or whatever here, and you can just like yoink. Yeah. So you yank it out of his the buttonhole, and he like spins around and he looks. He's like, "Hey, give me that back. That's mine."
Wait. Can I steal it without him noticing?
You want him to not notice? Yeah, totally. So you just okay, yeah. So instead, he just spins and like ends up like staring at the table, and he turns around. And he's like, "Come here, you," and like tries to get himself situated again. He's maybe drunker than he thought. Sure. And then he has maybe a concussion. So he stumbles sideways out of his chair and is trying to like right himself so he can get his dukes up.
And then Bruno's just gonna put their hands up and be like, "Hey, no, like I'll walk away. I'm sorry. I thought we were friends. I thought you knew me or something. I didn't mean to make you slip and hit your head and fall all over the place. That was my bad. So I'm gonna move on."
All right, make a persuasion check.
Here we go.
I got 10. All right, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna see how ornery this dude is.
Okay.
Let's see here. I got a 4. All right, so you've managed to just like you just rope-a-dope this dude where you're like, you must be confused. You hit your head. It's okay. I'm sorry. It's not. I thought I knew you. And he's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like he sits down and the one of the women with him is like, "Okay, dear, I'll get you another drink." And like they kind of calm him down. And at this point, like the nearest guy, he looks at you and he's like, he comes over and he kind of whispers to you. He's like, I'm sorry. He's got a bit of a temper in him when he's had some drinks. Let me buy you a drink. And he kind of like is like, let's go over here and get you away from my friend.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel like it's my fault or something,
Yeah, you want to go with this person?
Yeah, I'll go with.
Okay, so the two of you head towards the bar, and inevitably, like it only takes a few paces across the bar for the guy to do the thing that so many people do after being around you for a few minutes, where there's a look of confusion, like he's staring at you, there's a look of confusion, and then there's that like, "Oh, hey, I know you. You're Bruno the Bear. I seen you fight." And that like, and this happens all the time. And so he just starts like regaling you with stories of your own boxing prowess. Like he's like, "I was at that fight, that one in the summer," and he just starts like talking to you about it. He's very excited that he knows you. And so that becomes the conversation you have as you head over to the bar. So
yeah. Then at some point I want to be like, "Actually, hey, you do know a lot of your friends fans of mine?"
He like tugs on his collar. It's like, I don't know if fans is the right word. And he looks around. And he's like, this is the baby's club, and you're pretty brave coming here.
Well, yeah, no, I was supposed to be in disguise or something, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time changing my voice, and
when you say that, he nods and he's like, "Oh yeah, I get it. You're you're hiding. I won't tell nobody. Don't worry about it." And he looks back and he's like, he's gonna forget all about that conversation. I won't tell anybody you're here.
Oh yeah. No, oh yeah, buy me a drink. And then I gotta go take care of some business. But hey, thanks for everything. If I come back over and talk to you in a minute, is that cool? Can I do that?
Yeah, and he's just like, just starstruck, right? Like, just, yeah, of course. Like, yeah, I'll, and he gets, he pays for your drink, and he's like, what, whatever you say, Bruno. He's just so excited to be having this conversation. Cool. Okay, so back upstairs, Delilah, the baby, like you're standing by the door, and the baby says, he's like, why don't you come in, have a seat? And he gestures to the couch where these two people are, and he snaps at one of them. He's like, "Get your ass up, make my guest a drink." And the guard is like, yes, sir, of course. And he comes over to the sidebar and starts making you a drink, and they make room for you on the couch to come and sit. This woman like gets up and walks over here like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, Delilah makes a small show of brushing off the seat and then sits.
Okay, yeah. So the baby
not in the space where that person got up. But
yeah, you want to sit down here. So yeah, the baby gets up from behind the desk and like hops down, like walks around the desk, picks up his drink, and he walks over and he leans against the other side of the desk, and he turns to face you and he says, "So I gotta ask you, Delilah, what are you doing here?"
I'm sorry, I thought is this not a club for patrons?
Yeah, you know that it is, but and he squints. I don't remember you and I making any deals about turf before you went away, and since you were gone, there was all this open opportunity, and House DeCanneth never said nothing to me about it. So if you're here to cause trouble, Delilah, you got to know I own this neighborhood now. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you.
Well, that's not very polite. And then they'll just like flick their cigarette on the floor again.
Okay, this guard runs over like, oh God, and like picks it up with his hands like he doesn't want it to burn. Like,
Delilah doesn't even look at them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he scrambles over like, oh geez, and like picks up the cigarette off the floor, like runs over and puts it in the ashtray.
Myron, that hurts my feelings. You think that I would cause trouble over this?
Yeah, you can play coy if you want to, Kenneth, but I know you. You're trouble. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, there's no good reason for you to be here. You shouldn't even be in Sharn. There's no room in this town for you anymore.
It looks like there's an awful lot of room. I mean, you can't possibly take up that much space.
Oh.
The other guard hands you a drink, and I mean, you've had like interactions with this guy before, right? Like you used to be back when you ran this neighborhood. He was just like a minor figure, and so I think that the two of you have at some point or another like had drinks or whatever. So he has his guard make you something he thinks that you would want. What kind of drink? What used to be Delilah's drink?
Delilah would just have straight up whiskey.
Yeah.
Just be straight whiskey. But also Delilah, once taking this drink from this, like transfers the cigarette to the other hand.
Yeah.
Takes this drink and looks at the guard. No coaster?
And he looks around and he's just like, there's no table for you to put it on. And he goes, just 1 second. And he starts heading towards the door.
Okay.
Rook, because you have the door open, you hear and see through a slit in the door like most of this happening. What are you gonna do? There's a guy coming towards the door that you were hiding behind.
I'm gonna pull back a little bit and let him enter the space as the door swings with me behind it.
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then as the door closed behind him, I would like Rook to slide their knife in their throat.
Yeah, ice this dude. Okay, yeah. All right.
So here's the issue. Rook is normally pretty neutral, pretty on the level, but this is the gang. We know this now for a fact. Like this is 100% confirmed.
Yeah.
Now these people are irredeemable, and it's kind of like earlier when a shift just occurs. Yeah.
Well, and the thing for Rook, like,
exterminate.
Yeah, killing people from the shadows is like what you were literally born to do. You are like an investigation and assassination machine. So yeah, this guy walks out, you just slide the knife out and go to stick it in him. So make an attack roll with advantage. Sure. And I figure if you hit him, you just get him in the neck and down he goes.
Gotcha.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, there's no point in rolling. You don't have to worry about rolling damage or anything like that. Yeah. He's totally helpless. So you just grab him and get him with the knife
Jesus.
and slide him to the floor. And Delilah, can you make a perception check?
Yeah, I don't think that Delilah is paying attention to what's happening outside, but I
just want to hear if you, I want to see, because it's literally like right on the other side of the door from you.
Okay.
I just want to see if you hear a thump.
A 0 in perception.
Okay. Yeah, you may as well not.
Whoa.
15, not bad. You hear like just the briefest sound that isn't footsteps or the door swinging closed. You hear like a muffled kind of rustle outside the door. But no one else in the office seems to notice it.
Yeah, Delilah doesn't say anything and registers it the same way that they register any of the other people in this room, which is barely at all, except that it was slightly interesting, which means my henchmen are on there.
I was about to say, it goes nicely with the like, of course, somebody's dealing with my problems for me.
Somebody is like, somebody's dealing with this.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
So we'll continue to rotate around. Vic, have you decided what you want to do? There's a guy walking towards you. He heard a sound and is headed in your direction.
Terrifying. I don't know. I think that like Vic, in preparation to like take his form, has like dropped their previous like disguise.
Yeah.
And like comes out of invisibility like right as they're approaching, and just wraps a hand around their neck and casts vampiric touch.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Just gonna drain their life.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. Make an attack roll with advantage.
Cool. Gonna do it.
Roll 20. Don't screw her now. Come on.
Oh, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be fine.
Okay, you got 24. Nice.
Hey.
Okay. So in the same way, rather than like roll damage, turn it into a whole thing, you get what you want, right? So you grab him, and like it's funny how the escalation from the last beat, right? Because it was like guy comes out, gets stabbed in the neck. We see Rook's glowing eyes in the dark, and then this other guy, you appear from invisibility, grab him, and then just literally siphon his life force out, so he gets all shriveled up and like, yeah, and then he's dead, and you have him in your arms.
The most fucked up thing is like the last thing he sees before he dies is himself.
Oh no!
As throwing him into the storage closet.
Yes, it's like the T20 or 1000. Is that right?
So do you want to pop open this door and just like shove him in this room?
Yeah, I pop him in the storage closet.
Okay. So this room actually appears to be almost like a sleeping car on a train. It's got like a little desk with 2 seats, and it's got a like a vanity, and then there's a little like a hanging curtain that separates from like a sleeping area. Cool. But there's nobody in here right now, so you just boot the guy in, and you can like slide him under the curtain and hide him there. Radical. Yeah, and then you just like take on his
under the bed, and it's foreshadowing for when I get under the bed on the train.
Very nice. Yeah. Now, do you? I guess you have to take the time to like take his clothes off and then put them on, and then change your body to fill them out.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so that's what we do. We see you sliding a naked body under the bed and starting to like pull on this oversized tuxedo, and then shape change to like fill it out, and then all of a sudden now you're a goon. Cool. All right. So downstairs, Bruno, drink in hand. What are you gonna do? You take a look around. All of your friends are gone.
I'm making my way towards the backstage.
Yeah. Okay.
Area.
Sure. All right. So you're gonna head back here, and I'll take you upstairs. So here's the thing: you come up the stairs, and I think you hear. I guess Vic, as you come out dressed as the guard, you hear footsteps, and you turn, and you see Bruno come up the stairs, and Bruno at the other end of the hall, you see one of the baby's gorillas coming out the door, adjusting his bow tie. What do you do?
I put the flower on my lapel.
Mm-hmm.
And I get real sloppy.
Okay. And
I shout down the hallway like, "Hey, where's the singer? I'm the biggest fan."
What are you doing in here? You know you're not supposed to be in here.
What do you? I know I'm supposed to not be back here. No, I'm the biggest fan.
Vic's just being a jerk.
I'm the biggest fan. I gotta see. She gave me this flower. In fact, the flower on my own palm.
So out of line. You're so out of line. I guess we gotta see what the baby would do with you, right?
What the baby will do. Okay.
I guess we gotta go see.
Are you sure you need to take me to the baby? Make a big fuss about it right now.
I guess I'm making a fuss.
I just want this to be the rest of the game. Everybody just going like, ooh, hey, ooh, yo, hey, yo, at each other for the whole rest of the episode.
Tonight. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't remember what his voice was.
It's fine. It's all right if everybody is 1930s gangster stereotypes, I guess.
Every single that's what I wanted. Just a game full of Joe Pesci.
Do I look like a player character to you?
What do you want?
Yep. So I mean, Bruno, are you gonna go with this this goon?
I'm gonna walk with the goon a ways, but I want to try and choke the goon out and stuff him in a closet.
Perfect.
This is your own fault.
This is your own fault.
I deserve this.
1,000%.
How did you not think this was gonna go?
I thought we were gonna walk 5 steps and see the rook surrounded in a puddle of blood anyways.
Yeah, no, Rook is being an actual stealth operative. So the two of you, you start walking down the hall. We get the shot down the hall facing towards you, right? The camera's dollying back as you walk towards it. And we see Vic, and then behind we see Bruno like crack their knuckles, like, okay, here we go, getting ready to grab you. So back in the baby's office, Delilah, you heard a brief rustle outside. And I think, Rook, you're smart enough to not let the body bleed out next to the door so the blood doesn't go under the door.
It's underneath the couch that's in the room.
Yeah. So just jam him over there.
Foreshadowing to when I crawl underneath the couch in the train.
I find foreshadowing works the best when you call it out explicitly.
Absolutely.
What's happening here is dramatic irony because you see, my character doesn't realize, but what I know is, So
this is the office I get the romance novel from.
So so we're back in. You're sitting on the couch. The baby's leaned against the desk talking to you, and he says, "Things have changed since you've been gone, Delilah. Mm-hmm. You don't matter around here anymore. Not in this neighborhood. Not in this town. Sean's moved on. I forgot about you."
Oh, I can tell. I can certainly tell. That's why I'm up here.
And he squints. And he
instead of downstairs in the bar, not mattering.
And he says, "Well, hey, don't take it personal. This is just how things go. All right? You go away. Mm-hmm. There's a vacuum. We got to fill it. Turns out," and he gestures himself, "I was the only man big enough for the job." And there's like some chuckling from his goons, like, yeah, boss.
Like, oh, is that the first time anyone told you that?
he snarls. "Listen to Kenneth. I'm only letting you talk to me like this because we go back so far. I'm just being polite, and I'm letting you know you better go pack whatever things you got left and get out of here, all right?
And get on a train.
Here's a ticket. Get the fuck out of my office."
Or I could just take this operation.
And he laughs. He's just like, ha, yeah. You and what army, huh? And he looks over and like one of his goons does that like, yeah, I've got a wand. You better be scared. Like she like turns and kind of opens her coat and you can see her wand holster like next to her ribs. Like,
and and Delilah like takes a drag on that cigarette and is just like, "Oh, sweetie, put your toy away before you hurt yourself. It wouldn't be the first time I've taken candy from a baby."
And he stands up and he takes a step towards you and he's like, "All right, DeKenneth, finish your damn drink and then get the hell out of my office. Get out of my bar. Get out of my town." And Rook, you hear all of this on the other side. Before Delilah has a chance to respond, though, we cut back to the hall. Bruno, would you like to attempt to grab the guard?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. So it's an attack roll to make the grab.
My armor class is 12, so you better do real good.
How do I just like make an attack roll? How am I doing?
I think unless you have like an unarmed attack set up, I think the easiest way is a d20 plus your strength bonus plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay. So I'm just gonna roll d20.
Okay. Oh boy.
Plus your strength is 3, right?
Yeah. So
11.
So close. Okay, so you grab for Vic, and what is this? I'll let the two of you describe how this happens, like how Bruno fails.
Have you seen the Lobster, the film The
Yes,
Lobster?
yeah,
You know the scene where they're trying to like fight each other and they keep like
yeah.
just like pushing each other away, and it's kind of slappy and like
Yeah, it's like all arms. It's just arms. That's the thing about
So
this.
Vic, how long do you let this slap fight go on before you like revert your face to your own face and be like, get off me? Right.
I think it's just the voice I go, what are you doing?
Like, wrestle around a little.
Hey, whoa.
My impression was so bad. That was the worst impression I've ever done, so that you could clearly tell that I was not the guard.
Hey, I don't know what kind of tricks you're trying to pull. Pretending.
Oh my God, Vic, what are you doing?
Who's? Did you do something to Vic?
Oh my God. I like my eyes go back to like their gray, like
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Oh okay. Okay.
Oh, Eberron, Jesus.
Yeah.
I always just assume this is the thing. I always just assume that if a player uses like a colloquial expression like that, I'm in my brain. I'm just like, yeah, whatever the equivalent is, we'll do the subtitles translate it for us.
Jake Speller.
Oh Jesus!
oh Jesus.
Oh God.
I'm gonna say that in Jay Speller Must Die from
No, please don't. No.
Peacock bless.
Jesus Christo. Yeah. So okay. So it's been revealed to you, Bruno, that this is indeed Vic, your changeling companion, but dressed as and shapeshifted into the form of a guard.
I figured I'd take you in there, and it'd be sort of like me as the guise of turning you in, but then we'd do him a what for, and then attack
But
them.
like, shouldn't I be involved in that the plan, the process? Like, shouldn't I know that that's what's happening?
That's a valid critique.
Well,
I'll take the
that's a good plan, though. Let's do it.
I hear their voices talking as they're walking up, and I just like open the door, and I'm just like, "Come on!"
Yeah. So the two of
Let's
you,
go, cats.
you come around this corner. Yeah, and then Rook. Here, let me clear the door for you. You see Rook in the doorway there. Like,
I'm
hey,
just
come
like
on.
a finger up, and just like, "Come on, cats, let's go."
Okay, you see how they revealed themselves to me immediately,
yes. I do. I do see that.
Pianissimo, brothers, pianissimo.
Let's do the little thing where I pretend to tie you up, and then with your hands behind your backs, and then I'll push you in and be like, look at these bad folks.
Wait, is that what your voice is gonna sound like? They're gonna know it's not you immediately.
Vic, you gotta do like, hey, do this thing.
I'll do like the shoulder thing, and then they'll really buy it.
That's still not a good voice. That's not what he sounded.
What did he?
I just love the idea of this huge guard coming in and the baby being like, how are things going on downstairs? And the guard being like, everything's fine. Nothing to worry about, baby. You're like, what is that? Is this a new thing you're doing? Or yes. So what the three of you are kind of like out in this like waiting room. Mm-hmm. And Delilah's in the baby's office. Yeah. Delilah, do you respond? What do you do? So we cut back to the office, and he's pretty much just like, finish your drink and get the fuck out of here.
So like Delilah has no indication of how close the ridiculous henchmen are or what's going on out there. But I think now is a good time to set some nonsense in motion. And I think Delilah will, he's like, finish your drink. Delilah will say, they never brought a coaster. We'll take their cigarette, put it like out on the couch, like
wow,
and like grind it in while keeping eye contact.
Okay, all right.
Always lovely to chat with you, Myron. And stands up and starts going towards the door. Okay. And then Delilah rarely wears gloves, loves their hands, loves their fingernails, loves polishing them. 2 fingernails that are bright fire red. And she'll kiss her lips, look at him, bang baby, and cast firebolt.
Oh my god.
All right, okay. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and then we'll roll initiative. Oh yeah. Yeah, you hit him. Yep.
Yeah, I did it. Do I just click firebolt for the damage?
Yeah, for damage. Yeah, click it in there, and then you'll get to roll another D8 for your arcane firearm ability.
Phew.
Okay, so 10 fire damage, and then
roll D8.
Yep.
Bloop.
Nice, 16 damage. Okay. So everyone on the other side, despite there being like 2 doors and some space in between, you hear the sound of magic, right? You hear the sort of tearing sound of fire being conjured into empty air. You hear a shout. Somebody yells like, "She tried to fry me! Get her!" And everybody's gonna roll initiative, and we will see what happens thereafter. So go ahead and roll. Let's get you on the sheet here.
You know, it's great not having a 0 for initiative.
Yeah, right.
I love Torgor, but having a 0 in initiative is awful.
Yeah, it's never any fun. Hey,
God. You know what? I deserve this 3.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did just you get to start the turn. Yeah, and then we roll through. Okay.
Roll20. I'm so tired of rolling 6s.
All right. So there's Thug.
Oh my god.
There is. Oh, nice. There's.
Oh no.
Priest, and then.
Okay, good.
Spellcaster friend.
Is that the 6th
and
natural 20 I've been privy to since being on here?
And then let me roll for.
Be gentle with me. I only have 27 hit points.
The baby. Okay. Ooh. All right. So. Before you get a chance to do anything, this thug, the guy in the gorilla suit, he steps forward and he is taking he's got like a club and he's like pulling out, and he gives you a look where he's almost like, he's like nothing personal, right? Like, well, you know, this is just how it's got to be. Yeah. And he kind of gives you this look like, okay, sorry. And he takes a swing at you with this baton. What's your armor class?
Ooh, 14.
Okay.
Does it matter?
He clubs you once.
You got a 22.
Yeah, you got a 22, and then he missed, got 11. So you take 5 bludgeoning damage, and you try to turn to dodge out of the way so you don't fully like take the club in the side of the head. But he hits you in the arm, and... I think that's it for him. The baby, instead of jumping into the fray, runs over here behind his desk and starts frantically pushing a button underneath the desk. You just hear the like click, 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 click of the button.
Damn it.
Rook, it is your turn.
So now there's I can't see on my
there's a door shut there.
And there's Delilah's on the other side of it.
Yeah, Delilah's on the other side of that door, you can see here.
And the person's on like attacking them. So I would like to still using my stealth like sneak behind this one person, following the door and like get a sneak attack on them.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna use the bonus action to do a hide. So make a stealth check.
So have I lost my stealth? Or
revealing yourself to your friends means you're gonna need to roll stealth again.
That's okay. That's fine.
But you can do it as a bonus action because you're a rogue. So.
And I got +7 on it, so I think I'll be okay.
So you got a 12. Let's see what this guy's passive perception is. Okay, yeah, he won't notice you. You sneak in, you can open the door and stab him in the neck. Yeah, so this will be like regular combat, dealing damage, like all that stuff. Cool. But yeah, you can use your move to sneak up and attack. You have advantage because you're hidden, so you hit him. Cool. And then you can sneak attack.
Cool.
All right.
So I think I did it right. I put it all in the chat. Got a 12 for my stealth, and then got advantage with my sneak attack. So I got a 21.
Nice.
And I'm doing 15 damage.
Perfect. Okay. So Delilah, the door opens from the other side, and instead of seeing, more reinforcements, which the baby is expecting, right? The baby looks up, and I think he almost, there's a point where he's like, "Oh, that was fast," and the door opens, and you're like, "Oh, wait a second," and it's Rook, machine of death, and Rook just like stabs this guy, and he lets out a shriek as he gets a knife in the back.
Yeah.
I look at DeBaby, and I just straight up goes, "Vincent won't save you tonight."
And he spits and he's like, it's a goddamn conspiracy. They're all out to get me. Kill them. Kill them both. So that is your turn, Rook. Bruno. The fight has been joined in earnest. What are you gonna do?
I want to just plow into the room with my knuckle dusters.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Let's see here.
So you can get there if you just move forward. And then you can start swinging in on this dude's face.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
Okay.
Pop in a couple of those. Let's see here.
Yep, that's a hit.
All right.
Very dope.
And
okay, wow. 11 bludgeoning. Okay, wow. Yeah, so you punch him very hard. His head spins around one way. You get another attack, right? So you can take another swing on him. Yep, another hit.
Oh,
another hit. Boom.
All right. Do you knock him out or do you kill him?
Kill him.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, just two punches. Just one spins him around, and as he comes on the other side, boom, finish him off with the other. He slumps back against the wall and falls to the floor. And that is move, bonus action. You're good to go. So. The woman that was threatening you with the wand is going to make good on her threat. And she's definitely not going to cast Fireball and burn the club down.
Did anything catch on fire from the initial fireball?
So fire bolt is targeted. It doesn't damage any objects around it. Gotcha. Fireball would immediately begin burning this place to the ground. Like
cool.
Yeah. So she knows better. And so instead we'll cast
Yeah, part of Delilah shooting him earlier was I don't want to shoot around my friends. So
I guess it's gonna be magic missile. So she's gonna cast that on Delilah. So
rude.
Do you, just as a question, do you have the shield spell?
I do have the shield spell.
Okay. If you would like, you can cast it as a reaction. And it will absorb this magic missile spell.
Will it absorb all three?
Yeah. So shield, I was just checking. So shield, you cast it as a reaction to someone casting a spell. You get a +5 bonus to AC, and you take no damage from magic missiles.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, that's I think because Delilah did see that wand.
Yeah, she gave you lots of warning.
Yeah, there will be the hair comb will activate into the
nice.
The giant parasol on that side, and Delilah will like for the first time like sort of can't cast like a glance over the shoulder, just like.
I really like how she would never admit it, but Delilah is totally just a magical girl. And every time we see like
100%
heavy Sailor Moon accessory magic going on here. It's very nice.
Yeah. And the thing is like, I want you to imagine Sailor Moon plus Lucille from Arrested Development.
Yes.
100%. That's who
I love
Delilah
this.
is.
That's perfect.
Very good cross.
All right. So the maid, she draws her wand and she shouts the magic word. 3 magic missiles leap from the end of her wand, but you're too quick. You cast a shield spell, and your shield absorbs the attack. The other woman that's here, she is also a spellcaster. She's gonna go over here to the baby, and she's gonna heal him because he's sad and injured.
Okay.
Okay, so she heals him for 10 hit points. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so yeah, she comes over and she's chanting as she walks. She's rolling her sleeves up, and there's blue glowing runes kind of floating over her hands. She puts her hands on the baby, and the burn mark from where you blasted him starts to like heal up. Vic, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to do some shenanigans.
Yeah, do it.
I'm going to spend my action to dash. I'm going to play the part of called in reinforcements.
Ah, right. Okay.
I'm going to dash in. I'm going to get up close next to Myson.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to say, boss, we just got word. They've got the whole place surrounded. We got to get you out of here. But I think that like me and Delilah like have a signal, and I think it's like an ear tug where if like Delilah like was looking, like that would be like the signal that I'm not. But I'm gonna see if I can get this baby isolated and alone, and maybe kill and take over their body. That would be really-
Not only that, I think Vic has the same walk no matter what the body is.
That's so rude.
I'm just saying because like Delilah's all about that runway walk. So
I'm gonna shove the medic out of the way.
Yeah, like, get out of the way. I have to protect the baby. I'm here to back him up. I love the idea too that just because we saw Vic on a train later doesn't mean that it was actually Vic. So we could very easily run into a situation where Vic pretends to be the baby forever. The rest of you have to go into hiding, and you bring a different changeling with you onto the train. Or Vic could be anybody, right? Maybe Delilah stays, and who we thought was Vic is actually Delilah. That's great. Man, shapeshifters. Okay.
We're all changelings.
So you spend your turn coming into the office and do this. Make a deception roll with advantage.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Please. Deception. It's a 7. Well, come on. We've got
this. Oh,
nice.
Oh, natural 20.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. 20.
As you come in, the baby looks over, and he's like, Bronson, thank goodness you're here. Listen, we don't need to run. Look, we got her outnumbered. And then he looks and he sees Bruno and Rook, and he's like, hell, it's what is this? Everybody who has it in for the baby convention. You know what? Maybe you're right, Bronson. Let's Amscray. And he leaps into your arms. Like, let's go, buddy. And you got a crit, right? So he literally just like, he does the like uppies motion and then jumps into your arms so that you can carry him out of here.
There's a baby Bjorn installed under the guard's suits.
Yeah, right. He pulls his shirt open and there's a harness you just put him in.
I thought it was a sash that I was putting on for his uniform, but I'm realizing now it's a baby
Weird.
Bjorn.
What's this weird cummerbund for?
Yeah, he looks like Quado.
Quaid.
Oh.
So yeah, the baby just leaps into your arms, and he's like, "Wait, I'm the baby. Get me out of here." Delilah, it is your turn.
I'm sorry, I have to update the notes.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know what to do now. I'm just holding it.
Oh gosh. I do Oh no. I'm gonna shoot this other mage that shot me.
Yeah, the magic missile one.
Sure. Yeah, because I also have magic missile, and so instead of the gun motion, I think we'll go for a shocker. What Delilah does, and goes ahead and casts magic missile and says, "Oh, sweetie, you dropped something." And shoots at that mage. I just clicked it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The reason
it always hits, right?
The reason I knew that shield protected you from magic missiles is because she also has shield.
She has shield.
She's gonna use a first level spell slot, and with her free hand, you cast the magic missiles. They fly out. She puts her hand up. There's a ring on one hand that flashes, and then pulls the magic missiles into the spell and dissipates them. And she
recruit her.
Yeah, and she snarls at you, and the two of you are going full on Harry Potter wand duel now. Like just
I'm
firing
really excited.
Magic back and forth across the room.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It definitely looks like Harry Potter, like in the background while my henchmen actually get things done.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So the baby is gonna hold action because he just kicks his feet and is like, "Let's go, come on." Rook, it's your turn.
I am going to rush the spellcaster that Delilah is fighting.
Okay, so you just Terminator into the room and just charge.
And then I'm going to use insightful fighting, which means I do a wisdom check. Insight check against their perception.
Sorry.
Okay. And if I beat it, I get to use my sneak attack even without having stealth.
And they roll
deception.
Deception.
You got to beat a 19.
Okay. All right. Deception is charisma. They don't
Rook's
have
a very good character you made, Adam.
Thank you.
Yes. I really,
okay, I got a 15, so no problem.
Perfect.
Yep. So the thing is, like, Rook, as you're charging in, your tactical sub-processors are like examining the person's emotional state and like figuring out what they might do. And so when you do go to make the attack, it's like you're attacking. You have predictive combat model, right? So you attack not where they are, but where you have anticipated them being. So you just start lunging at the air, and she turns, and we'll see if you hit her. So yeah, you'll get your sneak attack if you can. Hit her.
Cool.
Nice. Yep. No problem.
Heck yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So she turns right into the attack.
Yeah.
And takes 9, and another 8. Okay. So she yelps in pain. And snarls at you like, "Damn Warforged, get away from me!"
See, the thing about Jazz and me is I always know how the phrase is gonna end, Daddy-o.
Excellent. She's now confused
I
and
got
afraid.
so many one-liners, guys. I'm so ready for this.
Do you have like a list? Just like you're just checking them off?
Locked away. Yeah.
Legitimately, no joke. The other day, I watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit all the way through because I hadn't seen it in like 20 years. So I was like,
it's such a horror show.
It's kind of nightmarish. I can remember why I didn't like it as a kid.
I love that movie, but it is.
Yeah. Christopher Lloyd is a nutso in it. Bruno.
That was like the first movie to give me nightmares.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
When his eyes bulge out.
I couldn't figure out who it was for. Like, is it a kid's movie? Is it an adult's movie? It goes back and forth so wildly.
Yes.
I could never figure it out.
For me.
I'm going to watch Cool World next. All right, Bruno.
Do not.
No, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
What are the handles on these doors?
I figure they're like the vertical like metal handles they got 2 things attached to them.
Perfect. Cool. I want to grab the club that.
Yeah. It's just lying on the floor.
And I want to close the doors. I want to get into the room and close the doors, and I want to put the club between the.
I like how Vic and Bruno keep just stepping on each other's toes. Like Vic's like, "I got this," and you're like, "Door's locked. Can't get out." Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in and do that, and then I want to like stare down the baby, even while being held by Vic.
Yeah.
And just go like, "I'm getting you right here."
Yeah, right. So this is the baby's worst day because these 4 people, or these 3 people, he doesn't know that Vic's here. These 3 people that and probably doesn't know who Vic is. The 3 people he's like done wrong are all in his office at once. And so when he sees Bruno, he shouts a little bit more like fervently and like tugs on your clothes, Vic. And it's like, come on, you got to get me out of here. I told him we should have made a secret exit. And he's looking around, he's babbling in fear. Like he just wants there to be a secret way out, but there isn't. And he's like, oh, where's that goddamn backup? So yeah, Bruno, you come in the room and then you shut the door, jam the club in there. And I think picking up the club, closing the door and putting the thing in that's your action.
Yep. I figured as much.
So this mage, let's see, 1, 2, 3, starts here. I'm trying to see if there's a cone that I can do to hit all 3 of you. Sure. Yeah, there totally is. Okay, so she may be smart enough to know not to burn the place down, but she's gonna cast a spell that is gonna hit all 3 of you. So when you get up in her face, Rook, she puts she puts a hand out and a spiral of dark blue runes appear. The air suddenly becomes very cold, maybe like a drink on the table freezes over, and she thrusts her hand forward and a cone of magical cold erupts from her hand. And blasts out into the room. And I think, let me see, it's a 15-foot cone. Mm-hmm. 60-foot cone. Yeah, she can definitely hit all 3 of you. So yeah, it just like flies out and blasts all 3 of you. You need to make dexterity saving or constitution saving throws, please.
Rude.
Okay. Without advantage, I imagine.
Yeah, just a regular save.
Then a 6 instead of a nat 20. But yeah. Oh, you all did great.
Everyone's doing great. All right, so Rook, you take the majority of the attack. You take the brunt of it. It's cold damage. So Rook will take the full amount, and then everybody else takes half.
I'll say that.
Rook is down.
Yeah. So,
I'll say Delilah steps behind Rook.
Yeah.
What is this?
36, 18 is half? Yeah, 18 damage to the 2 of you, unless you have something that mitigates cold. And then Rook, so you see Rook pretty much just do the like freeze over and then just tip over backwards and fall on the ground.
Oh boy.
100% still, yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
So maybe in that moment, right? So she does this, and then Rook falls out of the way, and she looks at you, Delilah, like, and she's breathing hard, and she's injured, but she's like, no, this is personal. Like now I'm gonna get you. So we see the 2 of you. She glares across the room at you, like breathing hard, nostrils flaring, and I think that's where we go to break. So stare her down. There's a moment here. We pause. We fade to commercial, and when we get back, we will conclude our confrontation with the baby. Don't go anywhere. Things that I just say out loud. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.